This is Russ. Hey, I got a new bike to show you guys. Now, here's an interesting thing about this bike. Okay, I had its predecessor before, but I want to show you what the new version is. This is the 2.0 version of the Himiway D5 2.0. Yeah, I had their previous version, which was called the Zebra, which then became the D5, and now they are now on the D5 2.0 version. Now here's an interesting thing about the color. This is a midnight blue step over version. They also have a step through version. And I actually have the D7, I'm sorry, the A7 in the same color. Yeah, so I have an A7 in midnight blue, and now I have a D5 2.0 in midnight blue. I like this shade of blue. Yeah, for those who like a darker color but don't want specifically black, this might be the color for you. So what is the D5 2.0? Well, the 2.0, let me say this first off, okay? Their packaging was very good on this bike. Yeah, we had a lot of package damage from the carrier who sent the bike to me, but because they encased this entire bike in extremely good foam, no damage to the bike. Shocking, considering how the bike box came in. Not a fault of Himiway, it's the fault of the carrier, of course. But their packaging was so good that there's zero damage to the bike. So again, there is a step over version, which I have right here. This is that extra top tube right there. And then there's a step through version, which would basically look like the same bike without that top tube there. Okay, down tube there would be where the battery is. So again, a lot of these bikes now have integrated batteries. It's just right down here. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Try to keep my shadow out of the shots here, so I'm going to stay back here for a second. So let me give you some specifics. They do come in several colors. There is the midnight blue, as we see here. There's an olive green and a space gray. Okay, the bike itself weighs 92 pounds with its battery. Okay, there is Himiway's 2-year warranty, and they do include free shipping. So when you get the prices there is free shipping. So what is the price? Let's get that out of the way. Price is $2,199 with a current sale price of $1,999. Now, what is the payload capacity? 400 pounds. Yeah, so if you're a 400-pound rider, you can ride this bike if you wanted to. Okay, rider size, they say between 5'1" and 6'5". We'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. Okay. Now here's an interesting thing. A lot of people have been talking about UL certifications. And if you look down here, you'll see there is a label down there. Let me read real quickly some of the things there. It says the motto is D5 2.0, battery voltage 48 volts DC, capacity is, well, in this case, 15 amp hours. Maximum weight 400 pounds, top speed 20 miles per hour, and we'll talk about that in a bit. Date of manufacture of this one was July of 2025, and if you look way down in the bottom there is the UL sticker. Now that is the hologram style sticker that tells you that the electrical systems for the bike is rated. What about the battery? The battery is also rated by UL, okay? So you got a frame rated at UL 2849, and a battery certification from UL is the UL 2271. So no fears about the electrical system on this bike, okay? Now they use Samsung and LG type cells, and of course lithium ion, okay? So with a 15 amp hour battery, 48 volts, what kind of expected range can we get? Well, maximum range I would say is 65 miles according to the manufacturer, but many of us kind of feel as, you know, depending on your weight, your style of riding, if you ride on pedal assist level 1 on level ground, if you weigh very little, you might get to 65 miles, but a lot of us just kind of cut that in half. I would say you can probably get at least 30 miles of range out of this bike. Now I have ridden this bike already. I always do a pre-test ride, And I can tell you, based on the battery drop that I had on it, if I continued on to the full max, I would have easily gotten to 30 miles, okay? So, yeah, I would say 30 to 65 miles of range, depending on how you ride and your weight and your terrain, okay? Now, this is a full suspension bike. If you look in the front here, they do have an RST Guide front fork. Now, those who know about front forks, RST Guide has been getting a really good name lately. It's very strong and capable front forks. And of course, you have the typical settings up in the top here and lockouts over here. So that's preload and lockout. You also have a suspension in here. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a spring down there. So you got a rear suspension here with multiple points of suspension points, and you also have the front suspension. So this is considered a full suspension bike. All right. The frame is made of 6061 aluminum. Okay, so your front fork has a 100 millimeter travel front fork suspension. Okay, and your rear, which is back here, has 130 millimeters of travel. Let me get my shadow out of there. Okay, and that's rated to 800 pounds, that spring there, okay? Well, since we're here, let's take a look at this. The saddle is a really nice saddle. Nice and wide for my style of riding. It's a DDK memory foam saddle, okay? Now tires, they went a little bit different this time. They went with the Maxxis brand. Maxxis, very well-known tire company. And this is the Minion FBF, 26 by 4 inch fat tires. Since we're looking down here too, let's look over on this side. 180 millimeter rotors for the Tektro brakes, front and back, okay? Since we're talking about that too, let's take a look at the brake system up here. So these are Tektro branded brakes. Tektro brakes have always been good. Never had a problem with any of the Tektro brakes ever. Shimano trigger shifter, since we're still up here. So you've got 8 gears of shifting here, and of course a Shimano Altus derailleur, which is of course very good. Well, since we're looking down here too, let's keep going down here. You have a Anida hub motor, which is 750 watts with 90 Newton meters of torque. So you should be able to get over any hills with no problems at all. And of course, hidden inside there is the controller. It's a 48 volt, 22 amp controller for your battery, okay? With your battery, of course. This is a torque and cadence sensor bike. So you can switch back and forth between torque or cadence sensor. And that is done through the control pad up here. And of course, you'll see that through the display screen. It's already gone to sleep at this point. You can set that up for a longer length of time. I have it for a fairly short time. I'll turn it on. We really can't see it too well with the bright sunlight in here, but you just hold the power switch and then this will kick in. I don't know if you can see that, but we'll do a separate section of the video talking about the display screen a little later. All right, what other goodies does this have? Of course, it comes with its rear rack, and this is the MIK style rack, so any of the MIK accessories will fit on the rear rack. It does come with plastic fenders, which I like a lot. It is my preferred fender style. Metal fenders, sometimes you know, if you have a little pebble that comes up, you hear the ding. So I prefer the plastic fenders overall. All right, what other things have I missed here? Oh, adjustable handlebar stem. Okay, that's a 60-degree angle. You can change that angle if you want it higher and closer. You can change that and rotate that. Display screen is color, full color display screen. Okay, it does include a bell. Your controls are over on this side. I did add this side view mirror. Okay, and because of this, the control pads here. The throttle is a left-handed throttle, but the throttle is actually part of the control pad. So it keeps it closer together. So if you tend to want to get this style of mirror, where you mount it onto the handlebar itself on there instead of the bar end, I will put a link to this particular mirror that I use because it has a longer arm, so that pushes the mirror further out. So it's a good fit with this particular bike, okay? Okay, so the crank set is a 52T crank over here. I did not notice any ghost pedaling as I was riding the bike. It is set for 20 miles per hour throttled and 20 miles per hour pedaled, but all of that can be changed, okay? Now I've changed mine to 28 miles per hour pedaled and 28 miles per hour throttled, but you can change that if you want to 28 miles per hour pedaled and 20 miles per hour throttled, or 28 miles per hour pedaled and 0 throttle, okay? So you have full control, and the nice part inside their display screen, once you get into the advanced functions of it, I may actually do a separate video altogether about all this, because there's a lot of stuff on this display screen. It's very easy to do. They don't use these P numbers and stuff. It's all in English, okay? So I may do a separate video about that describes how to get into the advanced functions. By the way, if you do buy one of these bikes, you want to get in there immediately by yourself, the secret code is 0510. Okay, that's always been the secret code for Himiway. So that's how you get into the advanced functions, okay? It's a nice looking bike. Many of you may want step-through designs, and like I said, it is essentially the same bike, minus that top tube. Okay, so having the step-over version, of course, is slightly more rigid, and many people who do, you know, a little bit more harder type riding prefer the step. I should call that a high step, really. They like that top bar on there. But if you prefer a lower entry point, then of course you wouldn't have the top tube there, and then we just have the bottom tube there. And it is perfectly fine. I've never had any issues with any of the Himiway bikes as far as frame flex or anything like that. So no fears in that sense, okay? All right, am I missing anything? I think I have most of everything here. Yeah, okay. So let's talk a little bit about some of the other feature things that I said we'll talk about later. All right, but I think while we do that, let's ride the bike a little bit. Oh, badging, yeah. There's a very, very subtle Himiway logo that's it's like in black on the back of the saddle. Oh, okay. Here's one thing I didn't tell you. Let me tell you this. On the control pad, okay, there are up and down sections here. And I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can angle it. Maybe you can see some of it. So there's off. These are your pedal assists. Eco Plus, Eco, standing for economy, of course. Tour, and then you also have Sport and Turbo modes. Okay, so it's basically 5 levels of pedal assist. They have a Smart Assist system on here. Okay, but another nice thing is that they do have turn signals, okay? So you have a left turn signal, right turn signal, so that's what this section is for. So if I push this, you'll see on the display screen, it'll start blinking, okay? So the left one is on, and if you look in the back here, you'll see it right down here, okay? That is your turn signal, and to cancel it, all you have to do, hit it a second time. Let's do the right one while we're there, and that'll be on this side of the bike, okay? This is also where your brake system is. Let me see if I can pull the brake there. So you see that? So that'll light up in red, okay? Turn signal is still on until you cancel the turn signal, so I'll cancel that out now. Okay, this thing here is just simply a reflector that's on the back of the rack, okay? So it's all integrated here. There's a front headlight. Now you might notice on mine, I'm missing the front headlight. Actually, I do have the front headlight. I was missing the bracket. And typically, it would mount right up here. I'll show you a photo of what the headlight is. You know, it does work. You just plug it into this here. But I was missing the front headlight bracket, and so Himiway is sending that to me. But I wanted to get this review out as soon as possible. It's a light. Come on, it's not hard to understand. But I'll show it to you on a photo at least, so you can see what that looks like. The wiring is fairly well controlled here. So they have these wrap things that just bring everything to the inside of the head post here, and then everything goes through inside the bike itself. So even wiring back here is really clean. Wiring back here is very clean. There's the exit point here to get to your derailleur. So yeah, it's very nice. Yeah, they did a good job in the execution of the design of the bike. So how does it ride? Well, I'll tell you, like I said, I've already ridden the bike. I've ridden it for quite a few miles already, and everything works out perfectly. So I'll take you on the ride too, so you can see how we do. So let's go ahead and take it out. Okay, so this is a step over style design. Sometimes they call them high steps. I think they call it a high step on this one. Let me angle my camera just right here for you. And I'm gonna put my pedal assist to tour mode. Again, this is a left-handed throttle. Let me angle it down a little bit here so you see it. It is a left-handed throttle here. That throttle doesn't move immediately, so if you push down, you have no response, okay? And the reason they do this is so that if you accidentally hit the throttle, you don't go just taking off like crazy. It will take a second, not quite a second, a little less than maybe a second, and then it'll kick in for you. I like that because it does give you a little bit of safety. Some prefer ones that have immediate response, but you know, it can throw you if you're not careful. Let me change my angle a little bit more here. And let's go back onto street level here. All right, so I want to talk a little bit first before we get into the cadence sensor and torque sensor of this bike. I mentioned too that the rider height is stated as 5'1" to 6'5". I will have to say, I don't know how they came up with the 6'5" rating, right? I am 5'10", and the seat post that they supply is a little short, in my opinion. If I were to use their seat post at its maximum height, I would not be able to get my full leg extension, and I'm only 5'10", all right? So here's what I did, and I suggest you do this too if you're taller, you're a taller rider. If you're taller than me, you'll definitely want to do this. And if you want a full leg extension, I mean, if you didn't want the leg extension, maybe 6'5" people can ride it, but you'd be so crammed up in there that you would not have much of a extension. Okay, I see up ahead there are, yeah, there's construction going on. I'm gonna turn around here. Let's just turn around. I didn't realize they had construction over there. All right. So here's what I did, and I'll put a link in the description of the video if you want to do the same thing, okay? Now, their seat post opening is 33.9 millimeters, and I looked for a 33.9 millimeter replacement seat post that's taller, okay? I was only able to find like maybe 2 or 3 of these things on Amazon, and they were in the $50 ranges. So I didn't want to pay that kind of money. So here's what I did. I bought a shim, okay? I bought a shim that took the 33.9 millimeters to a smaller diameter, and I bought a slightly smaller diameter seat post that was a lot less expensive. I'll put the links to both of those together, all right? So if you decide you want to change it and you don't want to pay $50 for a seat post of this size, you have an option to do that, okay? Now this is not a fault of Himiway. It is not a design fault. This is just basically if you're a taller rider and you want full leg extension. Now the post that I put on here is extremely tall. 6'5" people would have no problems getting a full leg extension with that, okay? It's an easy fix. It's not that expensive. I think I paid something like, with the shim and also the other seat post, I think I paid something like $25, $26, something like that, you know, with the tax and everything on Amazon. So it's not an expensive thing, and it's an easy thing to do. I've done this with many bikes in the past. This is not unusual, okay? But again, I'm one that prefers a full leg extension. Not everybody does that. I got to get around all this construction. I didn't realize this whole area is under construction. Yeah, all right, we're out of there. So I am riding with the taller seat post now, okay? I did ride my test ride with the shorter one. That's how I found out that I needed a taller seat post. And you know, with Amazon, you get it really quickly, right? So within a day, I already had my seat post, so I didn't miss out anything. So I've done about 17 miles on my pre-test ride. I did record that, so I will show you that in the future, so you can see how I do my pre-testing. I'll tell you, Other than the seat post height, I did not find any problems at all on anything with this bike. I kind of expected that. Himiway has always been very good as far as having good quality bikes and great components on it, good execution on it. Slow down here. So it's never been an issue with them, and I'm very glad to be able to help represent some of their products by doing these reviews. Thank you to Himiway too for sending this to me. I did ask him for this one, by the way. Well, you know, I've always loved the Zebra. I've said this before. You've heard this in the past if you've watched any of my reviews before. And I did sell the Zebra off because I knew that it was going to change eventually and it became a D5. I didn't ask for the D5 because they gave me a D7. So I've been waiting for something I could replace my Zebra with, and they came out with the D5 2.0. I'm glad I waited. I think this is a good design, especially for the price. I mean, $19.99, back in the day when I first started out with my e-bike journey here, I bought an e-bike. It had manual, cabled brakes, did not have hydraulic brakes, didn't have full suspension. It didn't have anything really. It was not a color display. It was not hydraulic brakes. It was nothing really. So they have given you so much more now for the money. It's very hard to fault an e-bike today. Yeah, it's an extremely good deal. I fully expect that this bike will sell extremely well for Himiway. It's going to be one of their most popular bikes in my opinion. If you want a commuter style bike, look at the A7. Okay, I have one of those too. All right, let's do a little bouncing here. Bouncing up and down. I can feel the bounce in the back. I can feel the bounce in the front. Oh man, having full suspension really pays off. Make sure we don't run over any squirrels that are on the street there. So let's open this thing up. I'm gonna have to find an area where I can speed up a little bit here. Now, you have torque sensor and you have cadence sensor. I currently have it on cadence sensor mode, so I don't really have to pedal hard and I can go pretty fast. And I can tell you, I can hit 28 miles per hour easy in this area. I really can't do it here. Gotta find an area that isn't like that. Let's maybe try this street a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna put my pedal assist to full turbo mode, and I'm gonna pedal it. Now I'm not pedaling hard because it is cadence sensor, which means as long as I keep my legs moving, I'm gonna get its maximum speed. And I don't know if you can see the speedometer, but we're at 24, 25. Just pass through here easily. 26, 27. I've got a stop sign coming up. Okay, you're gonna have to take my word for it. We can do 28 easy, okay? If I were to throttle it, I can hit 28 as well. Cadence or torque sensor, you can hit 28 miles per hour, okay? Let's switch over to torque sensor mode and give that a try for you here. So I'm gonna have to, let's find some shade. Let's find a little bit of shade to do this here, and here we go. I always pull up right next to a curb to do this. Let me angle down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so to do that, there's an M button over here. I'll push that. You'll see 0 and a couple of blinking things. So we want to accept the 0. We want there to be 5. We want that to be a 1 and a 0. So 0, 5, 1, 0. And there's a whole bunch of things right here. I don't know if you can see it. There's general settings, assist system setting, assist mode setting. I think that's what we need. Safety settings, system, and OTA, contact us. So let's move that down to assist mode setting, assist torque settings. You can change the torque ability and the ratios and everything. We want assist. Whoops, sorry, pushed the wrong button. We want assist. Let me get out of there. Assist sensor switch, okay? And you'll see here it says cadence mode, torque mode. I'm gonna move it up to torque mode and accept it, okay? There it is on torque. And then I hit the back button is basically your power button. So we should be on torque sensor at this point. I'm gonna move off of this because that's gonna move us into a major street. I don't wanna do that. So let's go back here. picking bad streets here for this review. All right, I'm gonna feel how this feels now. Let me angle back up again for you, sorry. All right, I am on, let's put it on the third setting, which is tour mode. I'm gonna have to get out of here. There's too much construction here. All right, so I'm pedaling softly and we're about 13 miles an hour. I'm gonna push down hard now. And you can see this is starting to raise my speed. This is definitely torque sensor mode because the harder I push on the pedal, the more it reacts. Now, when we were on the cadence sensor mode, I didn't have to push hard at all. All I had to do is just keep rotating my pedals, okay? If you're tired, you want to get home but you want to pedal, put it on cadence sensor mode. If you like the feel of a regular bike without help, try the torque sensor mode, okay? Now, you still have pedal assist levels, let's turn here, which would make it easier while you're on torque sensor, okay? Or you can leave it on a low setting and pedal real hard and get your 28 miles an hour. You can do it any way you want to do it, okay? Yeah, where am I? Yeah, that's gonna bring me back to that area. Okay, we're gonna have to turn off of this thing. I'm gonna have to find my way back. I don't know where I am. This is typical, okay? I always get lost where I am. All right, and they give you a bell, of course. The bell is the standard bell that they give, and it's pretty loud, so I've left it there. Yeah, it's a nice riding bike. This is a really nice riding bike. I have to find another way to get out of this area. But yeah, I don't know what the deal is with this street. Everywhere I go, it seems I'm running into areas that I can't get out of. The saddle is really nice too. This is not one I need to replace at all. Yeah, not at all. It's nice and wide. It's perfect for me. Yeah, we can't go down that street. We got to go down this way. Got to find my way out. You make one turn, you don't know where you are, and you're out of the area. That's okay. Doesn't matter. Let me put some riding footage here for you so you can see me riding around. You can see how it looks like when we're riding. But yeah, overall, it feels good. It rides well. I've not run into one single problem at all, short of the seat post height. And value-wise, I don't see how you can beat the value. Yeah. Like I said, back in the day when I first got my first e-bikes, I didn't have anything like this that had all the features that this bike has for the price. It's going to be a hot one for Himiway, I can tell you right now. I think of all the Himiway bikes that are available, this one's probably going to sell better than anything else. I can tell you that right now. I mean, other models are more expensive, some are less expensive, okay? But for what this offers for $19.99, I tell you, it's going to be very hard to beat. All right, we're going around in circles here again. It's okay, we're just testing the bike out at this point. I can find my way out later. Now, you might be wondering, where's the hill test, Russ? Yeah, I can't do the hill test anymore. I've mentioned this in the past videos. In our area, I'm not allowed in the area anymore of where we do our hill test. So I can really only ride the streets, and here in Illinois, we don't have a whole lot of hills, as you probably know. We are pretty much in flatland area here. But I'll tell you this, based on the weight of the bike, and the fact that it has 90 Newton meters of torque, okay, I know where I am now. 90 Newton meters of torque. Let me turn left over here, and we do have a turn signal, so I'm going to turn that on. We should have no problems getting over hills, okay? Now, here's one suggestion I have for Himiway and for all other bike manufacturers is, although we do have you have turn signals on here, okay? The turn signals are usually in the back, right? I'd like to see bikes have it in the front as well, front and back. So this way, cars, as they come towards you and I hit that turn signal, then it knows that I'm turning, okay? Otherwise, you still have to put your arm out to let the people in the front know that you're turning. Does that make sense? So that's just my suggestion. Whether companies do this or they don't, it's up to them. But I think just from my own feedback to the manufacturers, and again, not a criticism, just a helpful suggestion, maybe in the future consider designing some bikes that have front and rear turn signals, okay? Oh, this also has hazard lights. Here, let me stop here. I'll stop in the shade, keep us cooler. It's kind of hot today. Here's how I get off the bike. I tilt the bike, I swing my leg over because this is, again, step over bike. So if you push both buttons on at the same time, you'll see both this is blinking. And if you look in the back now, you guys see that? This is blinking, that is blinking. So you have hazard lights as well. And to cancel it out, just push them both at the same time again, and that'll cancel it. And again, to get on the bike, all I do is I tilt the bike, swing my leg over, and I'm on. Yeah, it's not that hard, but you know, if you're used to a step through design, if you buy one of these step over versions, you just have to deal with it. It's okay. Let's go this way here. So, what do I think overall? Excellent bike. Excellent bike. Good design, Himiway. Thank you so much. Oh, one more suggestion. Since I'm giving suggestions to everything, let me suggest this too. For manufacturers in general, not just specifically Himiway. It would be nice to actually get 2 seat posts. Yeah. A shorter one, like what they supply here, and then a longer one. This way people don't have to go searching for secondary seat posts in case they're taller riders, right? But again, in this case, no big deal. I've already given you links. You can do it the way I did it. Yeah. If you can find a one-piece seat post that's in the $25 ranges, get that. Otherwise, I have a link to the shim, which converts a smaller diameter seat post into it. And that works perfectly fine too. So either way, and my way it was a little cheaper. It's around $25, $26, something like that. So yeah, it's not too bad. Anyways, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Thank you to Himiway for sending me the D5 2.0. We'll do a lot more rides with this bike. I really like the bike a lot. It's one I'm gonna hang on to for a while, just so that you guys know. Don't go asking for my bike, go out and buy one, okay? And yeah, I think you'll be very happy with this design. I'm very happy with it. I think it was an excellent upgrade to the original Zebra design that they had, which became the D5, which is now considered the D5 2.0. Hit the like and subscribe button, go to Himiway, use the affiliate link that I have in the description of my video. That'll help out this channel and get you right into all the Himiway bikes. And if you're interested in any of the other Himiway bikes, you can use the same link and use that to purchase your Himiways. I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks, Himiway. Okay, let me show you real quickly some features of the display screen. Now you notice here, there is a battery level here, which is typical bars. I've also set it up so that I can see the actual voltage of the battery too. So after this ride, I've got 50.7 volts. It's in non-use mode, okay? Then you also have things like speedometer, okay? So you have in miles per hour, or you can set it for kilometers per hour if you want. And then there's a trip meter. So I've done 21 miles here. The odometer is set for 22 miles. So that's how much mileage I've ridden so far. And then this is your pedal assist levels. So I have it at off. And then just using the control pad here, you can go to Eco Plus, Eco, Tour, Sport, and Turbo mode. So 5 levels of pedal assist. They do have a thing that they call the Smart Assist system on here. So to get into the advanced functions of the display screen, just hold the button down here. This is, I think it's labeled M. It's kind of hard to see right now. You push that, and then that'll go into this area. You'll see that you have a password, and the password is typically 0510. So using the turn signal up and down, or not, I'm sorry, using the pedal level assist buttons up and down, and then using the M button here. I'm going to skip the 0 because it's already there. Move to the next thing. I'll use the up and down sections here, and I'm going to move that to 5. So 0, 5, and then again using this here, it now moves to 0, which we need a 1 at this point, so I'll move it to 1. Hitting this one more time, it's already at 0, so I'm just going to accept it by hitting this button one more time, and you'll see it's switched over. So now there's general setting, assist system settings, assist mode settings, safety settings, system and OTA, and contact us. So let's take a look at the general settings. So all you have to do is hit the M button again. That'll change us to here. Trip clear, so you can clear your trip meter. Default assist level, okay. Auto assist, screen brightness, unit settings, auto power off time, we may adjust that. Voltage display, which I showed you, I put it on a volt, as well as the little battery icon, and interface color. So I'm not going to clear my, well, I can clear my trip meter now if I wanted to. Let's do that. So I hit the M button, and it says, do you want to clear it now, or do you want to clear it whenever you want to stop the bite? It'll clear the whole thing all the time, but I'll just clear it now. So I hit this, and it says press M button again to reset the trip, and it's showing 34 kilometers right now, but I'll hit it again and it'll show 0. So I've now cleared my meter. Let's go ahead and pop out of that. To get out of it, just push the power switch. That's your back button. Okay, and push it again. Let's back up a little bit here. Push it again and push it again. So now if you look here, my trip meter now says 0 and my odometer says 22, okay? Again, getting back into it, all I have to do is push and hold the M button. And again, with 0510, so I'm gonna keep the 0. I'm gonna move this one to 5. Whoops, went too far. Move this to 1, accept the 0, and there we go. So back to general settings, you have default assist levels. So if I do this and I hit the M button, I've put the Eco Plus as my default. Now, if you want this to start when you turn on the bike, you don't want any assist levels, you want it on off, you can do that. Or you can say, hey, I never use that, I want to go faster. Maybe my default would be Tour, okay? But to be safe, I decided to choose Eco Plus, which is essentially pedal assist level 1. Okay, hit the M button and accepts it. Auto assist, you could either manually enable it or startup enable it. So if I hit startup, the minute I turn on the bike, it will be under auto assist. So it's gonna pick the assist levels it thinks you need, otherwise you can manually choose your assist levels. I personally have been using manual enable, but let's go ahead and accept this startup thing. That way the next time I ride my bike, it'll be on auto assist levels. It's like automatic settings then, right? And then you can change your screen brightness. How bright do you want the screen? Unit settings, kilometers or miles, whatever, you know. I have it on miles, of course. Auto power off time, let's take that. So after 9 minutes, it will shut down, okay? You can increase that if you want, you know, 12 minutes, whatever. I'm gonna leave it at 9. Voltage display, this is where you, if you enable or disable it, and I have it enabled so that I can see the actual voltage number next to the battery icon. Interface color, you know, color 1, here's color 2. I like color 1, but you can make it purplish if you want. To go back, hit the power switch. There you go. Auto assist system settings. Now I'm not going to change all these, I'm just going to show you real quickly. E-bike class, it's currently on class 3, which I put it to. Maximum assist speed, I have it at 28. You can choose whatever speed you want. And my walk assist speed, I have it at the lowest setting is 3, but you can go as far as 6 miles per hour. I can't even walk it at 3. All right, I wish they had a slower one. I wish they had a 2. But most of the e-bike companies have it at least 3. Okay, hit the power button next, it goes back. Assist mode settings. You can change the torque settings, how many Newton meters of help you want. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at its defaults. Go hit the back button here. Power switch is your back button. Assist ratios. So you can change how much assist ratio it will help you with. Yeah, it's got a lot, okay. Whoops, sorry, let me go back again. Whoops, pushing the wrong buttons here. Power response tuning, okay. You could start powering or power end. I have not changed anything. This is still set for power start. And then assist sensor switch, we've seen this already. That's the torque or cadence sensor mode. We're currently on torque. And then, oops, sorry, throttle setting. You could either follow the walk mode, disable the thing, or vary the speed, okay? So throttle setting, I have disabled, but you can change it to variable speed if you want, or you can follow whatever the walk mode happens to be. So whichever you feel comfortable with. All right, let's go back here. And then safety settings, this is your tail light mode. So if you hit this, you'll see that there's different modes, you know, fully blinking, fully solid on in the front and the back headlight, you know, blinking in the front, solid in the back, solid in the front, blinking in the back, or blinking in the front, blinking in the back. So you have a lot of different options you can go to, okay? I have it currently on solid on in the front and the back. So I will accept that and go back. System and OTA mode. System info factor reset, OTA upgrade. I don't know what all this is. I'm not gonna mess with that, so I'm gonna leave it. And then contact us is, of course, contacting them. So once you wanna get out of this, just keep using your power button. Let me back up a little so you can see it both, and it'll pop you back out, okay? Hopefully this has been helpful. I'm gonna integrate this into the video. I'm not gonna do a separate video. I'm gonna just integrate it into the video so everybody can see it. All right, thanks again, Himiway.